FM. And this is my favorite one time a month. He's only at one time a month, but it is my favorite because he's really into our community. Introduce yourself, gentlemen. I know who you are, but if you could tell the world who you are.
I'm Chief Byron Williams with the Holly Hill Police Department.
I am Detective Anthony Bernol with the Holly Hill Police Department.
And why do we enjoy doing this in our community? I mean, I think it's so important, and I'm so honored that you guys want to come in here and do this because it shows that you are for our community and you are for our people.
Absolutely. You know, we want to make sure that we're as transparent as possible, and we want to be very communicative to our community in a lot of different ways. We're doing a lot of different things since I've been here that we can get information out to our community. We enhanced our Facebook presence, and we're trying to enhance other different types of measures that we can communicate to the public in different ways.
And you do have some events coming up first. So let's talk about the events that are coming up first before we talk about the stuff that's going on, which is not always fun, but it's very important to educate.
But it's needful, absolutely. Yes. So, you know, obviously we started the Police Foundation board when I came here. It's a board that's designed to assist the police agency with different types of things that normally are not funded through our city budget. Things like enhanced training, better equipment, and things of that nature. So we teamed up with the Kiwanis Club, and we host the Mayor's Cup every year. This is our second year since I've been chief that we're going to be hosting, and that event is going to be coming up this Saturday, where tea time is going to be at 8 a.m. We was able to get all the teams filled. I think it's like 112 players. So that is great, and we have a lot of sponsors that come out and participate as well. So hopefully it's going to be a great event. Is any of our
police department playing in it?
I believe we have one team that's going to contain one or two of our police employees.
Okay, because I know that you're not ready yet.
I'm not ready yet. I'm working on it. I have not gotten there.
You're a work in progress.
I'm a work in progress.
You know how to hold the club?
Yes, I learned that last week.
Okay, and you know what a ball is, right?
I know what the ball is. So now I got to work on the putt.
I think you have to do a drive.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Because putting comes after the drive. Maybe I should play for the police department.
Come on. We can use you.
So that's one event coming up, and that is this week. So what do you need for this week?
Absolutely nothing. Just support. Obviously, we have all our teams set up now, so every year we do this. We do definitely want the community to come out and support us in any way possible.
Okay.
Not only that event, we have our National Night Out that's coming up in October the 7th. I believe that's the Tuesday evening, 5:30 to like 8 o'clock. We have a lot of different vendors that come out, a lot of the community come out and support it. It is a way that we as the law enforcement can engage with our community and just to humanize the event and let them know that we're not just cops, we're actually human beings, and we just work together and communicate.
Isn't it funny that that's what we think? We don't look at you guys as humans.
Yeah.
You're superheroes, but it is weird that we don't
Absolutely.
look at, but it's kind of the same way in radio. People think I always have a radio attached to me, that I am not just Shelley out in public,
Yep.
So we were together the other night at Crime Stoppers.
Absolutely.
That was fun.
Yep, a great event.
Yes, it is. And I love the awards. I do. And I love to hear the stories and all that. So that's such a great thing. But we got some serious stuff to talk about Holly Hill, don't we?
Absolutely.
So tell us some stuff that's going on in Holly Hill, guys.
Well, we want to actually start by, we try to we monitor our crime report every week, and we try to have an update every month for the neighborhood watch group. So we try to give that report out. And just want to give you a quick thing here on today's show. Our crime for last month of August, we had a decrease in a lot of different things. Decrease in crimes for service, decrease in arrests, decrease in accidents. We also want to show that there was an increase in thefts by one. There was also a no change in our burglaries. We had a total of, looks like we had one burglary last month and no burglaries this month. And we also had, from battery standpoint, from violence, we had 12 batteries in the month of July versus 9 batteries in the month of August. And we also had a decrease. Yeah, it's getting better.
Now, why is it getting better?
We putting more patrol out. We're doing more different innovative techniques, and when we're out patrolling and being observant of different things.
Okay.
So I think a lot of these things that we incorporate as far as crime fighting is actually helping a little bit with these different types of crimes.
And is that because you're being trained more? from going to those different things that you can get different training from?
We would like to say that our training enhancement in our training is helping, but I think more so it's just the how our officers are patrolling down the streets of our city. I think they're being very vigilant and what they're doing. They're monitoring the different crime analysis and looking at the different types of crimes that are happening. When we're having burglaries and things of that nature, we have our famous detective Bernol here who comes out there, and he does a lot of work on criminal investigation division. They do a lot of work that is not necessarily seen, but they put a lot of effort into trying to solve these crimes and find the criminals.
It's a hard thing to do. I know that from experience with you.
Yes.
well, I mean, it's sad that I had to have an experience with you, and it was through the internet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And people don't realize how easy they can fall victim, do they?
Yeah, that's correct.
So
It's
what would
extremely
you
easy.
suggest to help us as citizens? Because I think that is one of the things. The internet is great, social media is great and all that, but it's also kind of wheels us in and we make mistakes, don't we?
Yes.
So what would you suggest that we do to kind of be more vigilant and as a person in our community?
First, the biggest thing you can do is trust your gut. The old saying is, if it's too good to be true, then it's not true. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, unfortunately, fall victim to frauds and scams from the internet because they think they're going to get rich quick. Mm-hmm. We've had a lot of frauds happen within the Volusia County area to where people are being scammed two ways that have become extremely popular. One, to where you're going to invest into some scheme or something and then get extremely rich with very little work or anything in return. Big one is real estate or cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Doge.
Really? I didn't know about that one.
Yes. It's extremely popular right now that people are getting scammed through schemes of cryptocurrency to where, hey, if you invest into this now, you're going to get rich quick, because then they look online, they see Bitcoin is upwards of $110,000 per actual coin. Mm-hmm. So if you invest into this cryptocurrency, this new thing,
We all think it's going to be at 110,000, right?
Correct.
Okay. I was trying to figure out how you were going with that.
And just to let you know how massive that is, last year FBI reported is $3.6 billion in losses last year just in crypto.
Wow.
They received over 150,000 complaints just last year alone.
So, like, when we get those texts, because we get texts, nowadays that say we have a ticket that wasn't paid or a toll that wasn't paid, and first response, we want to click on it because did we run a toll, or did we, not pay something, or did we miss jury duty or whatever it is? Should we click?
No.
And so, what do we do? Because, we think we should click. I mean, I want to click. Do we bring our phone to the police department and ask if it's real? I mean, what do we do as a citizen?
So, depending on how you're contacted, if it is specifically that, hey, you missed jury duty or you missed a ticket, click here, try to resolve, contact your local courthouse, see if there is something going on, and then either go handle it in person or communicate to where you have a trusted, verified method. Okay. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, that's how they get you. Another big one, along with the click here for the tickets or you missed jury duty, is people calling you saying, hey, so-and-so's in jail.
Yeah, and it's like they're using AI and stuff on that, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They're using AI. They're using other people's information, which all of this stuff is all public record, to where now they're getting you saying, hey, this person, overcrowding, he can be released with $4,000. All you have to do is send me some money. And they'll be out, on an ankle monitor, which is all not true. All government entities and stuff like that don't deal in cryptocurrency, gift cards, any of that stuff. And then we don't have a program where we release people because of overcrowding.
I was thinking you need to have, like when your kids, well, I'm old, but when your kids were young, you had a password. Like if I was going to send you to go pick up my grandchild, okay, and we would have a code word so that I kind of think that when we get those phone calls, at least for me, if I got that phone call and it was AI and it did sound like my relative or whatever, I would say, what's our password? Would that help, do you think?
It can, but depending on the conversation, they could try to convince you otherwise.
It is very convincing, isn't it?
Extremely.
I mean, like crazy. and Who do you think's the most vulnerable? Is it the young, the old, the middle? Is there like a age group that's falling into this, or is it like, are we all falling?
60 plus is the most vulnerable.
So you're saying it's me that I'm vulnerable?
FBI says that.
Good answer. See how smart this man is. This is why we have him as chief police.
The older community has more of a tendency to fall victim to it because they are unfortunately trusting. And then on the other side of that coin, a good majority of them have more access to money to provide.
Oh,
so
okay.
they think, hey, I'm about to hit retirement. This is going to put me over the edge to where now I can live extremely well. Let it ride.
So that phone call, because we do get a lot of spam and all those different things, but we've picked up that phone call. We're freaking out because we think our relative or whatever is in jail. How do you get this person caught? Because, if we're not going to give up the money, then they're going to hang up on us, right? Do we stay on the phone? What do we do, I guess, is the question.
Hang up the phone.
Okay, you don't want us to be a detective?
No.
Okay. I got excited there. I thought I was getting deputized today.
No.
Hang
up the phone. You don't have to do anything from there. Obviously, don't provide them any of your information. Do not transfer any funds in any way, shape, or form. Okay? If you have genuine concerns that your family member is in need of assistance, like they are in custody and they need bond, you can contact the actual branch jail. You can look up information through the public websites to see if they are. But otherwise, hang up the phone. Don't provide any information. And then if you're still skeptical and they continue to call, you can call us at that time and we'll help you in any way, shape, or form.
Now, is that a 911 call to you, or is that a non-emergency call to you? Because actually, that is one of our questions this week from a listener.
Oh, okay.
What do you determine a 911 call or a non-emergency call? Because at that moment, it's an emergency to you when you think that. But is it really?
No.
That's what I thought.
So that would be a non-emergency call.
Okay.
911 is typically used for somebody's life is in dire straits, in need of genuine emergency right then and there. If this is something to where nobody is going to be injured or there is no active threat that it can hold for just a few moments while we coordinate with other stuff, that would be non-emergency.
Okay. And I like that you explained that, because when we're in a moment, the first thing we want to do is call 911, but then you're actually now getting put on to a bigger, broad thing. It could take minutes are being wasted, both for
Correct.
you guys and for the caller, right?
Correct.
And so
Absolutely.
they just call the non-emergency number and you can help.
Yes.
Now, should we keep that phone number? Should we
Yes.
file a complaint? I mean, what is our part we need to do as far as that goes? I know we want to say no and hang up, but then is that really the answer? No and hang up? Or do we need to contact you guys and say, this weird phone call happened, or report it, how you can go on the bottom of your thing, it says report this as junk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's not junk, because if it's happening to me and I was educated to hang up, what about the person that's not? So how do I handle my experience?
So if you get past that point to where now they have your information or you're on the phone and you're still extremely skeptical, you can record the information, screenshots, save it, use another device to record a video or something to where we have the voice. And then after the conversation is done, you can contact us and see if there is anything that needs to be investigated further. But always, always, always have some type of documentation, something to back up what you're going through.
So are you catching these bad people that are doing this to us older people?
We are.
Okay.
It's
Not easy, is it?
no.
And
It's very, very time consuming, but we are.
And is it not easy because of the internet and they change, IP addresses, and some of them are from out of the country, and we don't know that when we get this phone call. I mean,
Absolutely.
technology sounds like you're right next door.
Correct.
So is that why we're not catching people? Because of they could be in another country and then they cut off their social media or whatever they contacted you through? Or
All of the above.
wow, you got a hard job, buddy.
I do.
But you must like it.
I love it.
Okay. So there's the scams of the phone calls.
Yes.
How else are people getting a hold of people to do bad things?
Well, there's also job postings. People are getting
Yeah,
scammed
I didn't
thinking
think
that they're
about
applying
that.
for a job. They'll get a check in the mail. That'll be their first check, and it would be way over what they're expecting. So then they have to be reimbursed They get your bank account information that way, and then they start siphoning stuff out.
So people actually believe that you would get prepaid before you even went to work?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's it.
You also have the scam where they are saying that your computer has been infected.
Yes, that one. I got a Microsoft one of those ones. Oh yeah, I saw that. And, it says, "Don't shut it down."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic scam.
Look at you, classic. Like, come on, people. Let's talk about the good ones. That's a classic.
No, it's just because they're so prevalent now. Those scams, investment scams, are extremely prevalent. The one now to where it's becoming more popular with the younger generation is the rental property scams.
The rental properties.
Yes. So people will post on, for argument's sake, like Zillow or other rental websites saying, hey, I have this property to where it's $1,500 for a month. They come, they do a showing and everything. They provide money for first last deposit, and they go to actually take possession of the home that they, quote, rented.
Right.
But they didn't. The person who did all of this is completely illegitimate.
So how do you check that? Because I saw a commercial that said that your house, like my house is free and clear. I don't have a mortgage, but they said we should constantly check our title. Like, who has time to do that? You know what I'm saying? But is that a real thing too?
Yes.
So then we're just like, this house that I worked my whole life for and worked hard to pay off could be gone?
If somebody with ill intentions wanted to put enough time in, yes, ma'am.
So what does the person do? I mean, I know you say get documentation and all, but I wouldn't even know that, right?
Yeah.
I definitely would say, especially like with the rental scams, do your research before you actually go out and
But like, what
give some
research are we
stranger.
doing?
You're finding out who this person is that you're renting from.
But what do you mean finding out? I mean, I know listeners are asking this question, like, are we running a Google search on them? Or, I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Because
whoever you're talking to, find out who they are, find out what business they work for, and look into that business to make sure it's legitimate. These are little different things like that you can do to make sure that you are talking to the right people who owns the house. You can easily go to the county webpage to look up the property and see whose name is actually on the property itself. Little things like that.
Because, like, when the hurricanes happen and you're getting these contractors and stuff coming up to you and stuff, and you're desperate because finally one returned your call, and so you just jump on it. Okay, I sound really naive right now, but how many of us really check their license and stuff?
But we should.
Right. I know.
Because that is prime opportunity for them to take advantage of you. These contractors who come in with no license, no insurance, and come build your house or fix whatever's damaged, then you find out they get injured or they do a shoddy job or don't even return to fix the job, that you've been scammed or defrauded.
And then there's nothing we can do, right?
It's still something you can do, yes. We have several of those complaints like that we've investigated over the past, and we have a resource that we can reach out to. We talk to the state and their official investigators, and we come up with a plan, and we have been able to make several successful arrests and convictions through that.
Wow, got a lot going on. So I think the main thing is, if it sounds too good to be true, like you said, and you get that, I get a check in my spirit, I need to call you guys, non-emergency first, or start investigating on my own.
Start investigating on your own for sure. See if there's anything that is legitimate to their claims. If it is legitimate, obviously talk to people, see if it is worth your while. Don't just blindly go into the dark and drop a bunch of money into things.
Well, what's hard, I think, also is I happen to be geeky, and I happen to do all these kind of things. But as you said, the older generation, there's people that don't even have a cell phone or know how to access the internet or anything.
Correct.
So what are they more? They're definitely more vulnerable.
Correct.
But how do you help them then? Because they're, you know what I'm saying, Jack?
Well, we try to give educational courses. I know the county does some educational courses with our elderly groups. But it's educate yourself as much as possible. If you don't have access to the internet, come to your local police department, talk with our investigators, and they can give you all the information, all the updated information that you may need, the updated crimes that are going on, scams.
And you don't mind doing that?
Not at all.
Okay.
I just did that this morning.
Did you?
Yes.
It wasn't about me, people.
No, but it was in reference to an investment scam. This gentleman was unfortunately scammed out of a large sum of money, and he had no idea that anything that he was doing was not benefiting him and or he was a victim of a crime. He had no idea. So unfortunately, he's fall victim to one of these statistics.
And I think it's because we're gullible, and then we have that pride thing. You know, I don't you feel that that's one of our problems is that, you know,
Embarrassment.
yes, and that's part pride, I think. You know what I'm saying? Because then, how did this happen to me? How did I allow it to happen to me? But sometimes you didn't allow it to happen to you, did you?
Nope.
And that's what I think, that instead of feeling like you allowed it to happen to you, like you said, just come on in or ask for help. Are you going to offer some of those classes here in Holly Hill to help people, educate people on that?
We can if the request is there. We don't.
Well,
mind
you just got
educating.
requested. Hello. I mean, no, wouldn't that be great? Because
We've done several. I've done one at the Marina Grand before when I was requested to come there and talk about it. So we have no problem putting
but
one
like
on.
even on your neighborhood watch night, I would think that would be, because you get a lot of older people that come. And to
Absolutely.
me, that would be because I just don't think we realize that it's happening, or we think we figured it out, and maybe we figured it out too late, or whatever.
Absolutely.
So when they call, text, email you, whatever, what don't you want to give them? At what, you know what I'm saying? Because if they're asking you for stuff, like if they say, "Oh, I know your name," should you say, "Well, what is my name?" Do you understand?
Yes.
Let's play like good cop, bad cop. What would I ask, or what shouldn't I ask, or whatever?
Ask questions to see what information they have. Okay?
Right.
'Cause
You
if
don't give up your name.
Correct. Don't give up your name, date of birth, social security number, any type of banking information. When they say they have your information, that's most likely because it's all on public record. So when they run these scams, they get your information through public records, your phone number, everything. So then they're fact finding to see what they else need to then open up accounts and now ruin your credit, buy things illegitimately. So never, never, never give out your information.
So if they say, "And your name is," you say, "Well, what is my name?"
What is your name?
And then you say your ad. But if they have A, B, C, D, and E,
It's very convincing.
so then what do we do?
Well, this is where the education comes in, because like your local bank, they always tell you we would never contact you through this way. So even if they have all this information and it's, you need to educate yourself, you need to, skepticism, those are your best defenses. You need to avoid clicking on different things. You need to verify the request in some way or fashion. With these banks, when they try to call and pretend that they're someone else or they are the bank, I hang up and I actually call the bank number, the official bank line, and ask that. That's how you verify things and confirm things. But you should never be sending money to strangers. You should never be doing crypto with strangers at all. If you don't know who they are, you should not be sending them money, period. Even if they say they represent so-and-so.
I've noticed that email addresses are crazy.
Yes.
That one little added a dot or added an extra L or whatever, you almost, when you get something emailed to you, click on that. To me, this is what I like. Click on it and see, oh, it's got an extra L or it's got an...
This is what I do a lot of times. I will take a look at the email. When I get a strange email, I look at the email first, make sure I don't see any crazy numbers or whatnot. And then if they're representing a website, I actually go to that website.
And that's something I just learned about, because you do click. Let's get real. We all click. It's easier than having to type it out. But I saw something on Channel 6 that said, they clicked and got scammed for like $3,000. And it was, like I said, one little thing in it. So get out of that thing, go to Google or wherever you use, and type in the actual thing, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Do your research.
Why do we want to be so quick and easy?
That's the society we live in now, convenience and quick.
Well, another listener, I'm not going to use all my listener questions today, but another listener asked, marketplace happens to be a big thing. And there's good and bad, right?
Yes.
Good and bad in anything. But I think as a woman, one of my scary things is, would I want to meet you? You know what I'm saying? So do you have a place at the city or at the police department that you can meet people for,
Yes, we created a safe zone area there.
And what does that mean in English, a safe zone area? Do you have a camera on it?
Yes, several cameras are on 2 marked areas of the police department. It's going to be on the south side of the building.
Southeast
side of the building, where you can pull up there and it's on camera and everything else, where you can feel safe doing child exchanges and different things, and making sales and purchases and things of that nature.
And have you seen it being used yet?
Yes.
Okay, because
Yes.
that is an intimidating thing. I know my grandson sometimes will sell their rims, and tires because you got to get that other one. And then they're, well, yeah, and I'm like, do we have you tracked?
And you're going to find out, because I've done purchases like that before, where they wanted to meet in a certain area, and when I mentioned let's meet at the police department, I never hear from them again.
Right. That makes a big difference.
Yes.
Just saying that. Do
Yes.
every police department have that, or are we just special?
They should, but I don't know if everyone is doing it. But I know some agencies around here that take the proactive effort to actually put those in place.
So yes, you have cameras, but is somebody actually watching it when it happens? Because you can't be available 24/7.
It's not a live, but at least it's something where we have some type of documented evidence that we can utilize to track these individuals now.
So should we back in? So you can say, well, I'm just wondering these things.
I would.
Yeah.
I would, so that way we have your license plates.
Right.
God forbid something was
See?
to happen, there is documentation of it. You always take that extra precaution when it's something that you're doing for yourself.
Okay, then I am going to ask the other question from somebody that sent in. Sporting events right now. Every football season has started. The grandkids are cheering. The grandkids are playing the sport, whatever. And when we leave, we've just had this wonderful or bad experience, but either way, you got to see your grandkid or your child play, and we're walking to our cars, and most of us are alone, and maybe we had to leave at halftime or whatever. How do we be careful doing that nowadays? Because I feel like everywhere you go, you almost got to be your own set of eyes, but sometimes we get lazy. What would you suggest?
You have to be vigilant. You have to be observatory at all times.
But can't you be hypo-observatory? You know what I'm saying?
Hypervigilant, yes, that is a thing.
Okay, it is.
It is.
And what does
but
that mean? Because if you describe me, I'm really going to be embarrassed.
Hypervigilant means that you're overly vigilant to where you can't shut it off. You're constantly checking your areas. You're making sure that your back is against the wall so nobody can creep up on you. You know your exits. You're watching people's hands, stuff like that. But the part that becomes hyper is that you cannot turn it off.
Okay, I'm not that then. Good.
Yeah.
But you're walking to your car and you just feel like this person's like 3 feet behind you, and they could just be walking to their car, but what do I do? Because I'm feeling it. They're feeling like they're getting in my zone. What do we do? Because you're walking.
If you feel that someone's approaching you, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I would say go back to a public place where you have a lot of people around.
So make a U-turn and walk right past them. And
if you're feeling that someone's following you, I would try to get to a safe, lighted, well-lit place where you have people around.
well, because I got at the sports complex in Orrin, it's a long walk to get to where the bleachers are. Okay, and there's a lot of bushes and stuff around, and if you leave early or whatever, and you're walking by yourself and you feel that uncomfortableness, I don't know if I'm bold enough, but would I whip a U-turn, face the person, look the person in the eye, and walk past them? What would you suggest?
You would try to make a strategic way to get back to where it's open and
Well, it's only a little sidewalk.
That is circumstantial.
Yeah.
We can play what ifs all day long for that specific, but we can't justify certain things.
Right.
If you don't feel comfortable, obviously make sure that you make purposeful movements to get away. Have your phone to where you can contact 911 if needed. Call somebody. A good majority of the times, if you're on the phone talking with somebody won't do something because there is now a third person who knows where you are and could relay that information to law enforcement.
I like that you did say that, because using our phone is great, isn't it? And a lot of people think, well, maybe then I'm distracted. But really, like you just said, it makes that person think, well, you're talking to somebody and we don't know who you're talking to, right?
Correct.
What do you think about having their AirPods in their ears and having their phone? Well, because everybody uses those as I don't, but I'll carry my phone and actually have where you see my phone is up to me. But what about the people that have the AirPod? That's not good?
AirPods are good because they can be more discreet to where you can relay information and not be as overt or obvious.
Okay.
So it depends on how you want to go. If you want to make an overt or obvious statement that you're contacting somebody to try to curve any potential incident, you can use your phone. If you want to be more discreet and just kind of slide under the radar, AirPods are wonderful.
Y'all are very educational. I appreciate it. No, because these are questions people are wondering, I guess it's just a different world than it was a lot of years ago.
Oh, absolutely. absolutely, it's a different world now. But
And I just think we need to just be smarter.
absolutely, all day long we ask this, and what we want to try to do is educate our public on the different types of crime trends and the different ways that you can avoid being a victim of these different type of crimes. So,
And you think the biggest thing right now is the scams?
It's extremely popular. A lot of people are losing a lot of money over it, and it's unfortunate to say the least.
And so I guess the best thing, like you said, is if it's too good to be, we got to stop. And if we do get involved, we need to get a hold of one of you guys to help us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because
absolutely.
now, how about people that still have house phones? Is it happening on normal home? It's basically happening through the internet, right?
Internet, cell phones, social media, other things like that. House phones, they'll still get contacted, but it varies on the actual phone. So it's not as specific because the majority of the people don't have house phones anymore.
Okay.
Well, I'm one that do, and yeah, they still will call your house phone as well because they've called mine.
See, I have a house phone, but it's a cell phone. If you follow, it's our house number,
Yeah.
but we put it on an old cell phone so that way. But yeah, and it doesn't always come up the word spam either, does it?
Nope.
They've got smart. It comes up like with names
Yeah.
or cities that you're.
Local area codes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well,
Something you guys don't know is they can clone phone calls, phone numbers, and then it will look like a legitimate business. And
right.
that's part of the scam as well. So.
Well,
that's why you
I
have to
was
be
somewhere
extremely
the other
vigilant.
night and they wanted, I knew this person, so they wanted my phone number. And you know, with your iPhone, you can touch each other's phones and give that. And I wouldn't do it. Well, because I don't know what all they can get off my phone when they're doing that. Not that I knew this person, so I wasn't worried, but I was thinking, I don't want to start that habit of
Yeah.
doing that. So I have a different way. I have a QR code, which is maybe, I don't know if that's better or not, but instead of putting them end to end, I feel like you could take everything that way. I don't know if a QR code saves the difference, but
I mean, I actually have a card with a QR code on it that I give people.
okay.
So I could just show them the card and they scan the QR code that way.
Okay, so you have it on a card instead
have
of
a
on
card.
your phone.
Correct.
Shareware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shareware is one way to do it.
Okay.
But yeah, you have. If it's friends, you can feel comfortable doing that way. But I wouldn't recommend doing that with strangers.
Right. No. And I
Yeah.
just felt weird because I thought, I know this person, so I wasn't worried about them.
Yeah.
But I just felt like that's just too easy to do. And if I start that habit, because I'm out in the public a lot, I could easily continue that habit. I didn't think that was a
Absolutely.
good habit.
Absolutely.
All right, boys. So we're done. But do you have one last word of encouragement for all of us people in Holly Hill that are trying to get it together?
Even we said all this bad stuff that's happening.
Actually, I don't think it was bad. I think it was
Yeah.
all educating.
Educational. I mean, the police department is here to help in any way, form, or fashion. Feel free to contact us. I know, and I make a joke of this at work now, but I say a lot of times now I have to go on Facebook to find out what crime is going on in the city.
We had somebody text us. Do you have the non-emergency number with you? Or do you need me to look it up? Sorry. Okay, so you think it's important too?
Yes, reach out to us and contact the police department. Don't just put it on Facebook to complain about it, but if we know about it in advance or in enough time, there's a strong possibility that we can do something about it to solve it.
So I don't have the number saved because I have my other resources to get a hold of them. But per Google, the non-emergency number for Volusia County is 386-248-1777. 386-248-1777.
Or you can also just go to the Holly Hill Police Department website, and those numbers are right there as well.
Okay, because I mean that's important so that we don't
Absolutely.
just do that 911 all the time. But,
Absolutely.
man, you guys were so educational today, and I really appreciate it because easy little things can happen, and you guys have given. It wasn't bad news, so you know. No, it was because we've all had something weird happen, and we all don't know what to do.
Correct. Absolutely.
So I love that. And again, if you want to come to exchange your children or like Marketplace or whatever, there's 2 spots
Yes.
at the Holly Hill Police Department.
Right on the southeast side of the building there.
And if we want to meet you guys, we can come out this Saturday.
Absolutely.
From what time? Do you know the time?
Tea time is at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m.
And where's that at?
At the golf cart, the
Riviera?
Riviera Golf Club. Sorry.
Okay. Well, it was so great having you guys. I hope you'll come again. He wasn't going to say anything, but we got him going.
We got him going.
I know. So I hope that you come again. Thank you
you.
so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.